Well, it really is a treat right now to be joined by Doug Simunic. And when it comes down to the All-25 team, that All-25 team has to have a manager. And I first met this guy in a parking lot with the owner saying, I want to hire this guy. He's come down from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. He's got some titles. He knows how to win. And there was Doug Simunic sitting right there, and the rest is history. Simi started putting teams together, started winning titles, and Doug joins us tonight. Simi, good to hear from you. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, Jack. Yourself?
Well, doing well, like everybody, just kind of waiting for some sort of normalcy. And man, Doug, I can't believe how fast time flies. And when you go back to that 25, that 96 club, and Doug, you had won a title before. You'd been around independent baseball, and you knew what it was like to put teams together. But when you look at that 96 team and some of these all-time team guys, the Johnny Knotts and Chris Coase, I look at all these names on this list. How tough was it, Doug, to assemble a team for a new city in the Northern League at that time?
Well, it wasn't as hard as it is now for the managers, Jack, because there's a lot of competition for the guys. Back in our early going, it was, you kind of had to pick of the litter. Just use a couple names, for example. Johnny Knott, he was released by the Atlanta Braves. He hadn't been out of A-ball. He'd had a couple of years where he hit double-digit homers. He was sort of a easy negotiation. He got him on the phone. We talked to him for a while, and bingo. Next thing you know, we had him for a few years. He hit double-digit homers for us and was a very integral part of our playoff run, and finally got a chance to be on a championship team. So that was an easy sign. You look at a guy like Chris Coase. I mean, I took the job after my second year in Winnipeg. I came down to Fargo, and I came home for a month, and a few weeks later, I was back in Fargo, and I happened to be over at Concordia, and who do I run into? Chris Coase. I said, Chris, you're on the team. Why? He was a local guy. It was automatic. He said, you want to watch me hit? I said, no, I don't want to watch you hit. You're on the team. And then to make a long story short, we come to training camp, and he wanted to know what his role was. And I said, just wait. Let's see what happens. And Mike Crosby got signed after the first game, and Coase became a catcher. So, on-the-job training, but low-maintenance guys that just came for the right reasons to play.
It was in a new ballpark. It had the dimensions of Yankee Stadium, with those dimensions down. And Doug, you build teams. Darryl Motley was a name that people knew. A lot of these guys, I'm sure the locals, Doug, weren't familiar with, other than Chris Coase and some of the locals you hit on. But people may have heard of Darryl Motley before, and Mott was on that team. How did Darryl Motley become a Fargo-Moorhead RedHawk, Doug?
We before our first season, we went to a tryout camp down in Florida. I forget where exactly it was, maybe in the Tampa area. And we approached Marv Goclain because he had been playing for the St. Paul Saints, and we approached Marv about a trade. And I don't know who was involved in the trade. I can't remember that. Okay. And before we left the tryout camp, we traded for Darryl Motley, and here he was coming to Fargo. And let me just say, what an added guy to have. I mean, he came with World Series credentials. He came with a super guy, came with the right attitude, wanted to play, wanted to help the team win, wanted to be a guy. I mean, you called some monster shots over the greenhouses in left field. So he was just a guy who came on board and just played his game. His skills eroded a little at the end, and we all know that. But I tell you what, that first year for us, he set the tone for what we were doing.
Well, Doug Simunic set the tone for a lot of fans that enjoy championships, enjoy watching parties is what they were, and a lot of success, Doug. Some of those title teams were just phenomenal numbers they put up. So many players that you either extended their careers or started their careers by you signing them. And, like we said, when this All-25 team was put together, they put a manager on that. Your imprint is all over the organization, Doug, and those banners that hang, pretty good stuff. So what a treat it is that we were able to connect with you tonight, Simi. I'll give you the final word on that. Just your time is 1,200 wins, well over 2,000 games managed. Your thoughts when you look back at what you laid out in Fargo-Moorhead.
It was a good time in my career. When I came to Fargo, it was, after a couple, 2 or 3 years in the league was, just in its early infancy, and it was a chance to bring something new to a new area. And it really took off. I mean, our fans there were super, and you know, all the players we brought in, Joe Mathis's and the Nick Jacksons and the Jesse Horobecks. I mean, all the guys that are on that team, those guys could really come in and put on a show. I mean, it was unique talent that you don't see every day on a Legion field or somewhere. It was talented pro guys, and you know, just how they took to it and how everybody got along. I mean, my programs throughout the years had no problems with people getting along, and they put the shoe on the right foot, and they were able to go out and win ball games. And I just happened to have the best seat in the house to watch them all, so it was always a good time for me. And yeah, it was quite a career, and you know, lasted a long time. And if I said I didn't miss it, I'd be lying, but I do miss it at times. But
Sure.
you know, I'm going into my third year of retirement, so it
And
started. You know, it's not past me. I still like to do something, but it isn't right there in front of me to do it.
he let them be pros. That's one thing with Doug Simunic, and boy, what a legacy that is left in that. Skip, as always, it's great to hear from you. Say hi to Steph and Allison, your daughter, and we'll talk to you soon. Congratulations, Doug.
Thanks, Jack.